Welcome to Fake Love and Flying Monkeys, the podcast where fake love is exposed. I'm Nova Gibson and I am your host. I'm the principal counsellor at Brighter Outlook Narcissistic Abuse Counselling.com.au. This space is dedicated to helping you reclaim your worth and understand the impact of toxic relationships with suspected narcissists. You deserve clarity, healing, and freedom from the pain of fake love and flying monkeys. So please leave a review and grab a copy of my book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Let's uncover the truth and take back your power. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys. Oh my goodness, have I got an interesting episode for you. You would not believe the amount of people that I speak to in my counseling practice that are experiencing this very issue. And as per usual, when you're in a relationship with a narcissist and the abuse is so confusing and covert, they don't realize most of the time that it is actually abuse, and they're just after strategies from myself as a counselor around how to risk manage this obnoxious person, which just happens to be their parent or the parent-in-law. So the consensus is that weddings are meant to be about love, unity, celebration, and let's be honest, a little bit of a spotlight on you and your partner. But if you've got a narcissistic parent in the mix, that spotlight gets hijacked faster than you can say, "Do you take this man?" So let's talk about how that happens. Let's talk about how narcissistic parents sabotage their own children's wedding just to put the focus back on them. And we can't sugarcoat this, guys. A narcissistic parent sees your wedding not as your special day, but as their stage. It becomes just another opportunity to manipulate you, control, guilt trip, and steal attention. Do exactly the same thing they've been doing to you your entire life, only it's going to be so much more painful because this day should be all about you, and the narcissistic parent is going to make sure that they steal the limelight which belongs to you. So if you're engaged, newly married, or still recovering from a wedding that felt more like, I don't know, a performance hostage situation, then go grab your cuppa because this episode is for you. Now, to begin with, I'm going to talk about the pre-wedding meltdown, which is emotional sabotage 101. Just when you should be soaking up the love and the joy of your engagement, the narcissistic parent finds a way to do what they've always done, which is to make it all about them. Suddenly, they're deeply offended. They weren't consulted about the venue. How dare you choose a venue for your wedding without talking it over with them? Suddenly, they're calling relatives to complain that you're excluding those people. They're creating drama over guest lists, seating arrangements, or song choices. They don't want to sit next to old Uncle Bob. They hate the way he smells. Or, you know what? If you invite old Uncle Bob, well, your father and I are not coming because he has been so horrible to us in the past. And it's Uncle Bob or us. Yes, it is actually commonplace for narcissistic parents to threaten you with not coming at all to your wedding unless you meet their long list of demands. And please know, guys, it's not actually about the wedding. It's about control. And if you push back, cue the waterworks, the tantrums. They will spit the dummy, the health scares, or the torturous silent treatment. And what about the dress rehearsal where they test your boundaries before the big day? Think of it as their trial run. They might try to outshine you with their outfit choice. They'll criticize everything from the catering to your dress. They'll insert themselves into planning decisions they were not invited to, and they're fully aware that you don't want their opinion on. One client told me her narcissistic mother insisted on a speech at the rehearsal dinner and used it to talk about her wedding day for about 30 minutes straight. Guys, again, it's a soft launch for their grand plan to be center stage on your special day. But you get through it all. You made it to the big day. You're nervous, but you're excited. And then, boom, the narcissistic parent strikes. Common wedding day sabotage moves. Oh my goodness, could I tell you some doozies? Well, there's the wearing white. Yep, they actually do it. They will arrive dramatically late. They just couldn't help it. So everyone is waiting for them, and their entrance will be more focused on than the bride's entrance. They will cry loudly through the ceremony to draw attention to them. They'll give an impromptu speech that includes really passive-aggressive digs at you. Or they'll start a fight with a relative, good old Uncle Bob, or your partner just before the ceremony. And it's lose-lose, guys, because if you confront them, you're the selfish, ungrateful child. It is emotional whiplash. They will do anything and everything to cause a scene at your wedding. They will start a fight, get really, really drunk and obnoxious, and perhaps fall over so that an ambulance has to be called. Anything to ruin your special day. They will leave and make a huge exit so that everyone is wondering, oh my goodness, what happened? And then there's what I call the social media spotlight theft. You post a photo of your bouquet, they'll post a 40-picture throwback of their own wedding. You announce your engagement, they announce a life-changing decision that mysteriously gets posted at exactly the same time. What are the odds? Or worse, they share your big news before you even get the chance to. Narcissistic parents often use social media as a tool to upstage and control the narrative. It's performative, guys. It's calculated, and it is deliberate. Oh, but it doesn't end then. Then they start to undermine your relationship with this new spouse of yours. They will do it subtly or not so subtly. They will say things like, are you sure he's the one? Or, oh, she seems a bit controlling, don't you think? Or, well, if you're happy, I suppose that's all that matters. Translation: they don't like losing their grip on you. Marriage is symbolic of independence. That's threatening to a narcissistic parent. So they try to insert doubt, friction, drama, and suspicion into your relationship, all under the guise of concern, of course. Some even stir conflict with your future in-laws to divide and conquer, nothing else. It's classic, especially for a narcissistic mother, to say that, oh, I'm not going if his parents are going to be there. They look down their nose at us and it makes me feel uncomfortable. So what happens here? You can't have a get-together at Christmas with both your sets of parents there for fear that your mother will create a scene. So you have to do Christmas one year at his parents' house and the next, or you spend half days on Christmas, allocating time to each one of them. And this is just so stressful for you. And this is all manufactured by that narcissistic mother who wants to know that you are trying to reach the goalposts that she has set out for you. And of course, you never do, because they always shift. And they wouldn't be a narcissist unless they played the victim role, right? Nobody cares about me. When nothing else works, cue the pity party. They will claim that you're pushing them out. You've changed. You're selfish. You're choosing your partner over family. Guys, this is emotional blackmail in fancy clothing. It's an attempt to guilt you back into compliance. They may even go as far as staging a breakdown right before or during your wedding to pull attention away from you. It's also textbook for them to use money as a leash. If they're offering to pay for the wedding, that's often their favorite Trojan horse, because with the money comes strings. They demand control over the guest list. They insist on inviting people you barely know or actively dislike. They expect constant recognition and praise. And if you refuse, well, suddenly, funnily enough, the funding gets pulled, or worse, they threaten to do so mid-planning. So you feel trapped. You feel like you've got to do what they want you to do. It is never a gift, guys. It's a tool to control you. And it's not always just that narcissistic parent on their own that is making your life miserable on the lead up to your wedding. It can also be that your partner has this blind spot and they don't always see it. And here's where it gets tricky. You may be seeing all the manipulation clearly, but your partner, not so much. Why? Well, normalization. If they're the one with the narcissistic parent, they grew up with this. It's all they've ever known. Emotional manipulation, that just feels like family banter. You just need to get over it and accept his family for who they are. That's just how mum is. And there is also, for that partner who has the blind spot, a fear of confrontation. Speaking up means that they might be triggering that parent's rage, the guilt trips or the silent treatment. And that is not something that they're equipped to handle. They've also been experiencing their whole life that fog, the fear, the obligation, and the guilt. And those decades of conditioning leave ACONs, adult children of narcissists, feeling guilty for asserting their independence. So they'll often defend or minimize their narcissistic parents' behavior. And we all know how manipulative the narcissist is. So if they're not the target and that narcissistic parent is behaving totally differently in front of them, and they're saving all of their passive, aggressive, controlling behavior for you, then they are getting the love bombing from your parent. To them, you seem like the one with the problem who is just being too nitpicky. For many victims, the aftermath also includes a post-wedding fallout about discussions around the day and what didn't work for them. The manipulation does not stop after the last dance. Be prepared for things like complaints about the seating, the food, the music, or the ceremony, even though you did everything they asked you to do. They even told old Uncle Smelly Bob not to come. Be prepared for being iced out for weeks because you didn't thank them publicly enough. They don't think that you are being grateful enough for all they did for your wedding. Be prepared for rumors and smear campaigns whispered to other relatives. Some will even use your honeymoon as a time to stir that pot, creating all this drama while you're away, so you return to utter chaos. So, what can you do? Okay, let's talk about boundaries. Set clear boundaries, guys, early and often. Start with phrases like, we're keeping this decision between us. We'll let you know what we need help with. And don't lower those boundaries if they sulk or they give you the silent treatment. If they engage in those toxic, manipulative behaviors, what they're saying is that they were the very people you needed those boundaries for. Communicate with your partner with statements like, I've been feeling really overwhelmed with some of the pressure from your parent. Can we talk about how to protect our day? Use examples, be specific. You guys have to be a united front. Now, sadly, this can be a time when red flags in your relationship with your partner can actually reveal themselves because a golden child son, for example, is going to have no empathy for what you are saying to them and will have replies such as, look, that's my mother. You just need to get along. And what she's asking for really isn't that big a deal, is it? Your partner needs to put you first, and that narcissistic parent needs to see that their child is going to put you first. Have a plan for the day. Try not to be blindsided. You know who and what they are. Maybe you could assign a trusted friend or another relative to hang with that narcissistic parent. Keep an eye on them. Make sure they don't have a chance to ruin your wedding. Limit their microphone time or just eliminate it altogether. If you are worried that they will say or do something to embarrass you, or they'll just hog the mic for an hour when other people are wanting to speak about you, then don't let them talk. Be prepared for the silent treatment, etc. And also be prepared to not lower your boundaries. So, final thoughts. Planning a wedding with a narcissistic parent in the picture can feel like you are walking through a minefield in high heels, in stilettos. But here's what I want you to remember. You are not selfish for wanting your wedding to feel safe and predictable. You're not dramatic for noticing manipulation, and you are not ungrateful for setting boundaries. You're allowed to protect your joy. You're allowed to put yourself and your relationship first. And you're absolutely allowed to celebrate your special day without apologizing for it, because love should never be about managing someone else's ego. It should be about you, your love, your commitment, and your peace, and you deserve every bit of it. And that brings us to the end of another Fake Love and Flying Monkeys episode. Yes, their child's wedding. What a smorgasbord of narcissistic supply for the narcissistic parent. That just goes on and on and on with the lead up and the aftermath included. Now, I would love to hear about your experiences on your wedding day and what that toxic parent did to bring the focus back onto them. So leave your comments in the review section on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, and of course on the Fake Love and Flying Monkeys private page on Facebook. Now, if you would like to have a one-on-one counseling Zoom session with me online, please just see my website link in the description, where you will also find a link to my best-selling book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. On that note, guys, it's bye from me for now. Until the next episode, remember, you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of so much more than a lifetime of fake love and flying monkeys.